This is Vijay Thakur from the Personal Tutors. Here I am to teach you a topic known as endocrine system. First, I would like to just make you know the meaning of the word biology. Simply, the word biology originates from a Greek word that is bios, that is life, then logos, that is to study, in which we study the living things. Okay, and there are many branches, out of which there is a branch known as physiology, one of the significant branches from 11, 12 to MBBS. You have to study that, and I am going to take a very significant topic from the human physiology known as the endocrine system. Moving ahead, endocrine system actually, our human body requires a very complicated chemical structures, very complex compounds known as the hormones. The hormones are synthesized in the body and they are secreted. The secretion takes place by two modes. First, from the glands which have their ducts, and the other one is the glands which do not have any duct. So we just classify the endocrine system like this. The glands which are endocrine and exocrine. Here we are moving with the classification of the glands. Okay, exocrine, endocrine and exocrine. Endocrine gland is a gland which does not have any duct, and the exocrine gland is a gland which has a duct. So endocrine gland, which is not having any duct, actually directly pours its secretion into the bloodstream. And on the other hand, the exocrine gland, which has a duct, pours its secretion through a duct. For example, like here, and the endocrine gland example would be pituitary, thyroid, etc. And here an example could be pancreas, which has a duct. Okay, now we are moving ahead with the first and the most important gland, which is pituitary gland. The pituitary gland, the other name is hypophysis. Hypophysis, or you can call it the master gland. Okay, here's a reason to call it the master gland. Means a gland that has control on all the other glands. Means the secretions from the pituitary gland have the strength to control the other glands. Like these, the hormones from this gland can actually incite the other glands to synthesize the hormones. Okay, now we are moving ahead with the list of the hormones. Okay, thing is that first you need to understand about the introduction of the gland. Like the gland is bilobed. It has two lobes, the anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. Next thing, its location. So the gland is located in the sella turcica of sphenoid bone. Sella turcica is actually name for the cavity in which that gland is present. Are you getting it? Now we are moving ahead with the list of the hormones. Now simply talk about getting it. I have a simple short trick in the Hindi language. I would tell you the trick first. Actually, the trick was made by myself. It's like imagination. I remember Einstein sir, who said once that imagination is greater than knowledge. Now I am doing an imagination. How? आपको ये सोचना है कि एक बालिका जिसका नाम गीता है, अंडरस्टूड, उसका नेक्स्ट डे पेपर है मैथमेटिक्स का, और उसके डैड ने उसे लैपटॉप गिफ्ट किया है नया नया. ऑब्वियसली नया नया कुछ मिलेगा तो पीपल यूज इट अ लॉट. और पड़ोस में बातें होती है कि लाइक सिंपली पीपल से, ओए गीता आज लैपटॉप लेगी तो फेल. कल जैसी बातें करते हैं स्कूल के. व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज, ओए गीता आज लैपटॉप लेगी तो फेल. This is a simple imagination trick. Is that OA, this ONA is actually oxytocin. This A is antidiuretic hormone. It has another name, vasopressin. So these two hormones, oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone or the vasopressin, these two are secreted from the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. These two. And these two are very important. First I am just making you know these two, then after these. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is actually the hormone which is having the property to cause contractions in the smooth muscles. Moving ahead, the smooth muscle of uterus, it could be smooth muscles of female breast. Okay, so oxytocin is secreted at the time of parturition, the birth of baby. What happens when oxytocin is secreted? It causes contractions in the smooth muscles of the uterus. Then it facilitates the delivery of the baby. Means obviously you know that the baby is in the womb, in the uterus, and if there is contraction in the muscles, in the smooth muscles of the uterus, that is so simple and clear that it will be responsible for the delivery of the baby. Now moving ahead, this one, other one, this antidiuretic hormone or the vasopressin. Just consider about the terminology. Antidiuretic. Anti means किसी के against. Di means दो, एक से ज़्यादा. यूरेटिक यूरिनेशन. तो एंटी डाययूरेटिक हार्मोन मीन्स ये यूरिन की वॉल्यूम को कम कर देता है. हाउ? ऑब्वियसली एंटी डाययूरेटिक हार्मोन is responsible for the reabsorption of water from the nephron. That is, the volume of urine will be decreased. Simple thing, simple physiology. Volume of urine will be decreased. Obviously, if this hormone is secreted, then it decreases the urine volume. Okay. The other name, if you see, vasopressin. So the name is actually clear. This is telling about the function. Vasopressin is actually, look at this, vaso. Actually, this is vessel, the blood vessel. Pressin means to press. यानी blood vessel का diameter अगर प्रेस करेंगे तो कम हो जाएगा. ऑब्वियसली ऐसा करने से एक सिंपल फिनोमेना होगा कि प्रेशर बढ़ जाएगा. सिंपली वी कैन से ब्लड प्रेशर इंक्रीज कर सकता है vasopressin, or you can call it the antidiuretic hormone. Now I guess we are done with the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, which is also called the neurohypophysis. Here is anterior lobe, like Geeta aaj laptop legi to fail. These are the trick words and the names are. Here is growth hormone. Okay, you can call it the somatotrophin. Again, next one, ACTH. This is GH in short. And this one, oh sorry, this one, A, that is Adrenocorticotropic Hormone. You can call it ACTH. Here, Luteinizing Hormone, or Prolactin it is called. Then next one is Luteinizing Hormone, the luteinizing hormone. Then TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. You can call it the TSH. And here is follicle stimulating hormone. It's called FSH. Now we are done with the listing of the hormones of the both anterior and posterior lobe. We have discussed the physiology of oxytocin and this ADH. Now I'm moving ahead with the functions of the hormones of the anterior lobe. The first one is the growth hormone or the somatotropin. Simply, the name clears everything. Growth means that the hormone is responsible for the growth of body. Obviously, body की growth करने के लिए responsible है. और हमें मालूम है कि हमारी body के building blocks क्या होते हैं? These are proteins. और हमारी body growth करने के लिए energy भी चाहिए होती है. That is carbohydrate. So, this hormone is involved in the metabolism, utilization of proteins, carbohydrates, and the vital compounds. Moving ahead. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. The name is long, I understand, but there's a small trick. You can see it. This is ad, that is upar. This is reno, that is kidney. And this is cortico, means cortex. You know very well कि किडनी के ऊपर एक ही ग्लैंड है, adrenal gland, जिसके दो पार्ट्स होते हैं, medulla and cortex. So what I'm talking about, this names adrenocorticotropic. Trophic or trophin means stimulation. So this hormone is responsible for the stimulation of adrenal gland. Which part? The cortex. And obviously, if the cortex is stimulated, then the cortex will produce the hormones. Like I said, the master gland, it can incite the other glands for the production of the hormones. So name clears what I'm saying. Adrenocortico, किडनी के ऊपर की ग्लैंड के कॉर्टेक्स को स्टिमुलेट करना. ऑब्वियसली वो उसका हार्मोन जनरेट करेगी. सो द एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर राइट नाउ दैट द हार्मोन इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द स्टिमुलेशन ऑफ कॉर्टेक्स ऑफ द एड्रिनल ग्लैंड टू प्रोड्यूस इट्स हार्मोन्स. मूविंग एहेड. Luteotropic hormone, the next hormone. We are done with this and this. Now this one. Luteotropic hormone or the prolactin. Now you can see it here. Prolactin. Actually, the hormone is responsible for the synthesis of milk in the females. The significant and the most important function is this. The prolactin, responsible for the synthesis of milk, obviously by the mammary glands. Moving ahead. Here we have TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. The name clears everything. Like I said, that this hormone is actually responsible for the stimulation of the thyroid gland. You know very well, the thyroid gland will produce its hormone under the influence of the TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. Moving ahead. This one. Okay, we discussed this, and now this one. Luteinizing hormone. Okay, luteinizing hormone is responsible for it. Actually, it is having important functionality in both males and females. In males, it is responsible for the production of testosterone. The major is testosterone, or you can call it the androgens. This hormone is also called the interstitial cell stimulating hormone, ICSH, the interstitial cell stimulating hormone. This one, the luteinizing hormone. So in males, it is responsible for the formation of testosterone, and in the females, responsible for the production of progesterone, obviously from the corpus luteum. Moving ahead. Here moving ahead with this follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone is actually responsible for maintaining the follicular stages, like the follicle, the Graafian follicle, and the follicular stages of the body. This hormone means the formation and developmental stages of the follicles in the body. So we are done with this. All the hormones from anterior and posterior pituitary. The important thing is that first, you should be clear about this, that these two are from the posterior and these all are from the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. You have a nice trick to remember everything about these, and at least this should be in mind on the tips, because this listing is important. Sometimes even in examinations the questions are asked about this, means anterior and posterior, means you have to distinguish this. Means this is from anterior and this one is from posterior. Only two hormones are secreted from the posterior lobe. This should be in mind. Now we are moving ahead. We are done with the pituitary gland, the listing of the hormones and their functions. Okay, moving ahead. The best way is that first you need to study the introduction of a gland, listing of the hormones and their functions, all the glands first, and then the hormones, each and every hormone means deficiency diseases and everything. Now we're moving ahead with another gland, the thyroid gland. Okay, you can see a butterfly shaped gland located on the anterior side of the trachea. Simply here there is trachea, and on the anterior side there is gland, the thyroid gland. Always remember that whenever you see the diagram like this, do not think that the gland is like this location. It's not like that. Actually it is folded like this. But to make you know the actual structure, the gland is actually stretched outwards to know the actual structure. Moving ahead. The gland has two lobes, and these two lobes are connected together by a structure known as isthmus. Isthmus is a structure that is responsible for conjoining both the lobes of the thyroid gland. Okay, these glands have small structures like this, the follicles, and these follicles everywhere, these have the hormones and iodine in the colloidal state. Actually it gets oxidized. Okay, so moving ahead about this, the thyroid gland. First you know the thyroxine and you know the T3. Here we will learn how are they produced by the gland. Now look at this. This is tyrosine. Tyrosine, this is an amino acid which is taken here first. It combines to iodide. Okay, I'm making you know. Actually, there is iodine which is oxidized and taken here. Okay, and it combines with tyrosine. When iodide is combined to tyrosine, which is an amino acid, it forms monoiodotyrosine. Monoiodotyrosine, the MIT. Okay, when MIT plus MIT means these combine to form diiodotyrosine, that is DIT. Look, tyrosine is combining with iodide and producing monoiodotyrosine, that is MIT. Now what happens? MIT, two molecules are combined to form DIT, that is diiodotyrosine. Now we are moving ahead. What happens? DIT combines with MIT, producing obviously triiodotyrosine. Okay, so this one, the triiodotyrosine, is actually T3. You are familiar. This is T3. This is triiodotyrosine. The chemical name of T3 is this. Then there are ways to form T4. That it could be DIT plus DIT simply. Then what will happen? There will be tetraiodotyrosine. Or the tetraiodotyrosine, that is T4. So here is your T4, or you can call it thyroxine. So we are done with the introduction. Like I said, the butter-shaped gland, It has two lobes located on the anterior side of the trachea, and isthmus is the structure that combines both the lobes. Okay, yeah, this is making me know, just like remind something. In case of pituitary gland, both the lobes are connected together by pars intermedia, and here there is isthmus, thyroid gland. Now what will happen? You have studied this, the formation of the hormone. Now we are moving ahead with the T4, that is tetraiodotyrosine, the thyroxine hormone. Okay, we discussed the introduction, like structure, lobes, and the formation of the hormones. Now we are moving ahead with the physiology, the basic function of the hormone. Thyroxine performs a function. It is basically anabolic hormone, means thyroxine is actually responsible for the formation. Means, you know, in the body many reactions go on, like glucose combines many molecules to form glycogen, and there are fatty acids combining with glycerol to form fats. So these anabolism is actually is under the influence of the T4 thyroxine hormone, means the anabolic hormone, and their other activities are like it is responsible for the maintenance of BMR, you can say the basal metabolic rate. Another one I'm talking about the maintenance and the control of temperature, means the hormone can also control the temperature. So we are done with two glands, pituitary and thyroid. Introduction, basic structure, hormones, listing, and their functionality. Thank you so much. And if you like, please hit like, subscribe, and every comment, even the advices are welcome. Thank you so much.